this tree, he used to take me to climb, and he would say I would go all the way up. I was probably 5 or 4, a little kid. Yeah, and he would say, well, I said, Dad, how far do you think I should go? And he goes, I don't know. What do you think, son? So he always liked that story. And, you know, what he was trying to tell me is that he left it up to me to, you know, make my own decision about how far to go. And so, yeah, we came here a lot. We used to sit there and, you know, he was a great dad. He was a hero. That sums it up. And you know, I had a vision of, you know, I wasn't sure because I asked him, "What do you want me to do when you die?" He said, "I don't care." You know, and I almost just went with that, you know. But I had a vision of getting his ashes, putting them in the ocean because he was a lifeguard, and putting some on my mom's grave, which I did yesterday, and I put them in the ocean. I went to Long Beach, spread some ashes in the water with my kids, you know, and it was a beautiful day. The water was beautiful, nice, and I put his ashes in there, and I actually took some sand and from the beach and some water actually from the ocean. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I took it. Yeah, and it's so great to have you all here. George, I mean, I guess I'm just going to say Annabelle over here if you don't know him. They had such a good relationship. There was really good friends that they would be like, my dad would be like, you know, I feel so much better when I'm not around you. And then he would say, you're an asshole, and they would call each other assholes. They had a really good, you know, relationship. So everybody else, you know, just to let you know, at the end, you know, he had a stroke like last year, so he was messed up, and he was, and the way God worked it out is Mom died. For the first thing that happened was Mom was old, and so I was wondering, you know, who's going to go first? Are they going to miss each other? You know, and they would probably be devastated missing one of the other ones. You know, and I know he loved Susan as well. He had another love in his life, which is Malcolm's mother. And thanks for coming, Malcolm. And that's why, I mean, she was a big part of his life as well. Anyway, so what happened was that he had Mom was sick and he had a stroke, so he really wasn't aware of what the hell was going on for the last year, too much. So when Mom died, he was kind of, you know, looking up in the sky. He wasn't really affected by it too much. And so that's how God worked it out. So even though Mom still had Dad, you know, when she was alive, even though he wasn't really coherent, they never really missed each other. And so I spread I don't know. I don't know if I believe about the ashes thing. I know he's like, I don't know. I don't know if he's up there. But if he is there, that's pretty cool. You know, how do I know? It's beyond my understanding. So, yeah. So, but I will say, a guy said something to me the other day that I think is one of the most genius things I ever heard. And he said, when you start thinking about somebody that you missed, it's them contacting you to say hello. So I mean, that's
great.
So every time I Dad pops my mind, hey Dad, how you doing? I say that. I say hi Mom too when she pops my mind. So you know, he's not anyway. So the last year he wanted to go. He wanted to go. He vocalized it a lot. He said, I want to go, and to me, and he had a couple of, you know, he had another stroke which just totally messed him up, and I was just telling God, you know, please, you know, take him in your hands, you know, and so you know, then he had another stroke and he was in bad shape. But the last 2 days of his life, he was heavily medicated on morphine, which is nice.
Yeah.
So he was chilling. You know, I mean, if I'm gonna go, and the last 2 days of my life, I'm like on a morphine drip. You know, that's not bad. That's not a bad way to go out. And yeah, so you know, I don't know how I'm gonna be affected by this. It was more of a relief at first, but I'm just gonna, you know, like me and Dad had a great. We would laugh at our problems all the time. He would call me up and he'd go, "My life is fucked up," and we'd start laughing for like a half hour hysterically, and we'd make each other laugh, you know, and we would laugh. So the message here is laughter, life, you know, enjoy, and you know, that's how I'm gonna look at it. So basically what I'm gonna do here is, at the end of anybody who does want to speak, I'm going to put the ashes there. I'm going to give some ashes to Malcolm to kind of mix with his other person that was very dear to him as well, that he would be happy about it. And anybody who wants to just jump, let's do a jump in. Whoever wants to speak, go ahead.